what's the deal, everybody? Hope all is well. This is Zachary King from the Female is Future podcast, and I am here with the beautiful Azili. Azili, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I am so good. I can't complain. I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you for having me. I'm ready to vibe out. We're going to have a good time.
Thank you, and I appreciate you for coming here. Before we get started, let me start off by saying your skin looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
We're going to have to talk about your skincare routines.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure somebody's going to ask that question.
Okay, no problem. We could get into it.
Definitely. So before we get started, tell the listener audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, for one, let me tell you, it's really hard for me to talk about myself, okay? But we're going to do it today. So I'm Azili Almaz. I show up with a lot of different hats. I'm a doctoral student. I'm also a professional in higher ed. I'm also an entrepreneur in the media and entertainment industry. I'm a media correspondent. I go to various events in the city and different cities, and I just cover the events by giving people the best seat in the house for the ones that's not at the event, but also entertaining the individuals that's attending the event as well. But I'm just a dope individual. I'm a dope female. And it's so interesting because I never really took enough time, I think, like earlier in my years to really embrace my dopeness. Like I used to dim my light. You know, I used to think I was too much for people. I was dramatic. Like my family called me Hollywood because I just was always extra. But as I started going through my womanhood, it was something that I just had to embrace and accept, like, this is how God made me. And it worked out, and it fits all of the industries that I'm in. Right. So, like, that's what I love. Sure.
That's beautiful, and I appreciate that because part of the reason of having this platform is because I wanted to provide a space in which women can be unapologetically themselves.
Yes.
They could be unapologetically great. So I thank you for mentioning that. With that being said, though, what were some of the steps you took to break out of that? Like to get out of the, I need to be pleasing to everyone else and start being pleasing to Azili?
That's a great question. I think it was more so, it was prayer. I had to get closer to God so that he can show me why he loves me so much, why he constantly wakes me up every morning, like help reveal my purpose. And once I started understanding the love of God and how he see me, I was able to shift my perspective and my view of myself, and just start practicing self-love, start taking care of myself, knowing what spaces to be in, what spaces not to be in, discerning who to be around, who not to be around, what business ventures I should, move forward with, which ones I shouldn't. So it was really my walk with God that really like gave me that third eye.
That's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So what were some of your early influences? Like, was there someone that you might have seen and said, you know what, this is a good blueprint, or this is a good woman I need to follow, or like what got you to that space?
Well, what's so interesting, I'm a firm believer, and women pay attention to this. I believe that God will always put like the older you in front of you, to inspire you and to show you like, okay, this is what I'm working towards. And so I was blessed to have aunts and sisters and other family members, as well as like being in like the industry and seeing like Black doctors, Black educators, and they just were so decent to me. And so I would aspire like, ooh, like that's gonna be me in like 5 years. That's gonna be me in like 3 years. And so from that, I was just like, I'm in that category. I'm in that category. Like God is molding and shaping me into being myself, but that's gonna be me soon. And so I really do believe that there are going to be like a lot of women, not just right now, but like in the future, that God is going to keep putting in my life and every journey that I'm going on. So,
I like that. Yeah. And also what I hear from you is a lot of manifestation.
Oh, for sure.
I hear that. No, that's good. I'm not going to say I didn't believe it. I wasn't always conscious of it. That's the word to use. I was not conscious of it. So when I would speak, I would think I'm being joking or something like that, but I really realized I was starting to speak curses over my own life.
Yes.
So that's absolutely a fact, and I appreciate you being conscious of that.
Yeah.
What about them days where you don't necessarily feel as vibrant? You don't feel as beautiful. You don't feel as motivated. How do you push through that?
It's my tribe. Like, I think my tribe is really decent and supportive. And so on days that I don't feel like it, I literally have to just build up something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just literally take it 1 hour at a time.
Right. 1 minute at
Just
a time.
one,
Right.
listen, sometimes 1 second, okay?
Right.
At a time. And I also have a emotional support dog. You know, so Benji, that's my baby, and he keeps me stable. He keeps me sane.
Right.
But I also go back to self-love.
Right.
I had to start paying attention to my mind, my body, and my spirit. And it's like, I don't really feel like myself today. So it was like, okay, what can we do? Like, what can we do? Should we journal?
Right.
Should we take a nice bath? Should we light some candles? Should we go for a walk? Should we, like, what should we do?
Right.
And sometimes it's one of those things where it's like, well, let me just sit in this and let me just be. Like, let me allow myself to be human, right? And experience these emotions and say, I don't feel like showing up today, and that's fine.
Right.
You know, and so I had to give that grace. I had to extend grace to myself. And on days that I just don't feel like it, sometimes I sit in it and I just don't feel like it and I just be in that.
No.
Or sometimes I just try to find different strategies to help like shift my mood a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
No,
I hope I answered it.
No, you did,
Y'all
and I appreciate that, and I also appreciate the fact that you said sometimes I just sit in it, like I just relax and I chill, like I don't do nothing, because I think sometimes as entrepreneurs and young Black professionals, we want to get it, and we keep going and we going and we going, and we don't realize that a lot of it is burnt out. It's not that we're not necessarily moving in the right direction. It's just that we're burnt out, so we don't move as fast or as quick and things do it. So you got to kind of let peace be still, right? Got you.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think we don't extend enough grace to ourselves. You know, especially it's like men and women. Like I would say, like our community, we do not extend enough grace to ourselves and to others. And so I think that as we're going through life, we get caught up in the momentum of okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. Like we're constantly on the go, and we never really sit back and just chill, like just like admit, like just not do anything.
Right.
You know, we don't take that time, and I think that's why like we see people having strokes and you know just like having so many health issues and health concerns because they're just constantly burning themselves out, constantly on the go, not taking time, even if it's just 5 minutes. You know, they're not taking that necessary time that we need because we need it.
So
like,
what does your self-love look like? Like what do you do?
What do I do? Okay, where do I start? So my self-love, it depends on the day. It depends on the day. Sometimes my self-love could be me talking to myself. I talk to myself. I be in the house like chopping it up with myself. Yes, it'd be me, myself, and God. Okay, and we be chopping it up. But it looks like me talking to myself. It looks like a bubble bath. Sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time. Getting my nails done, pampering myself, staying groomed, getting my hair done, and going for walks. Right. It's so funny because people don't know like I'm really athletic. I'm really like I will go in like in the gym, but I haven't been able to. So sometimes it looks like me going to the gym. Sometimes it looks like me reading, writing. Sometimes it's just me just getting dressed, like just getting dressed, throwing something on that I really really love, or shopping. Gotta shop.
Gotta shop. Gotta put some shopping on there.
Sometimes it's food too. Self-love, I love feeding myself. So self-love looks like me taking myself on dates. I'm always looking for new eateries to try, and I have a ball by myself. Like I really do. Like I will have a whole ball, and I could out-eat a man. Like I would have two appetizers, like one entree, sometimes two entrees. I'm going to eat.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to
right,
feed myself.
right.
I'm walking out with a whole food baby.
No, that's a food baby.
Yeah, I'm walking out with a whole food baby.
That's I appreciate that because I'm not at the level where I do enough by myself. Like where I'm always like, it's a new show coming out. Man, let me call something. Let me call someone to come hang out with me. I'm not at that space, so I do appreciate it. Now, I do the walks by myself. I appreciate that. And one of the things for me that I did when I was away, of course, there was a lot of isolated time. And I realized that isolated time put me in a position where I had to face my demons. And by me facing my demons, they were just so much easier to control, right? But in this time where I'm running around, I got the podcast, I'm doing video, I got this and this and that going on. It's just easier to lose yourself in these distractions. So I appreciate the fact that you're saying to take it out. And what I always try to do on this platform is offer someone tangibles. I want them to walk away like I actually got something. It wasn't the typical have ye more faith or you just keep doing that. No, and so take a walk. Go to the gym, feed yourself, love yourself. That's appreciated. Yeah. Let's talk about a little bit about your diet because, for those who don't know, off camera, when she first came here, this girl broke open a whole orange.
I said, you got a knife?
Right. And it was
I need to cut
orange. I had to hide my cake, y'all. I said, all right, let me go ahead and move these chips out the way. So let's talk about your diet. Obviously, you're very health conscious. I'm looking at your skin. It's radiant. It's glowing.
Thank you.
So you're obviously very diet conscious. So let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about what do you eat every day or how, because that's another part of the entrepreneur journey that we have to talk about. We got to talk about our diets because if your diet is trash, your outcome is going to be trash.
Yes, for sure. And so, like for me, my diet, I love fruit. I love smoothies. I used to like not eat any red meat like at all. But then like I dipped and dabbed back into it. But then for like the past like month, I really like cut back, the red meat again. And so it looks like no red meat, consuming a lot of water. I love ginger. Like I love ginger. So when I get smoothies, I get ginger added to my smoothie. And it helps with your metabolism. Like ginger is really good for you.
Good.
Like so people should really look up like the benefits of ginger. So if you're a smoothie person and you want to add some ginger to it, you can. I'm not gonna lie, there's a little spice to it. There's a little spice. But if you cook with ginger and you cook with garlic, for the most part, it'll definitely clean you. But it's really nothing to it. I just try to keep my body going. I had to start being conscious of what I ate. And so, I mean, y'all fathers of daughters, so it's gonna be a point in time if they haven't already, they're gonna get menstruals. And so what women, I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends, what we need to be more conscious of is leading up to our menstrual cycle. If we consume trash, like we're going to have like really bad cramps. Like it's going to be a really challenging menstrual, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I had to be conscious of that, and I'm in my 30s now, and so sometimes I'm getting like aches and pains that I never really had, and so I have to, so I have to sit up here and be like, okay, just be conscious of my body. Like what did I eat? Okay, I noticed that when I had fried this, my stomach was hurting like a little bit after that, so I had to cut back on some fried food. But it's just listening to my body, and I think that's what we need to do more of, like listening to our bodies and stuff. And when I started listening to my bodies, I rarely get sick. Like I rarely get sick.
Wow.
And I take vitamins and stuff, so like I take vitamins.
Right. No, absolutely. No, I love that. I love that because when you talked about the women getting on their menstrual cycle, we're talking this is centered around Black women and entrepreneurship. Yeah. You still have to perform. Yep. As if nothing else is going on.
Come on, right?
So if you are cramping and aching and stuff like that, and it puts you in a bad mood, that could really affect your business one way or another.
Yeah. And people don't be caring. People, you can't go to work and say, I got real bad cramps. Like, they don't.
People do.
People do. But my supervisor's gonna look at me like, girl, like, we do not care. Or I can't go to an event and I'm the media correspondent and I'm sluggish. So I just have to make sure the vibe is there. And what I eat for the most part is definitely helps like shape like how I'm able to navigate life and allow myself to further just like exude whatever is in me, right?
No, I totally get it. So we talked about your physical diet. What about your mental diet? How often are you a book reader?
I am.
You are?
Yeah, the book I'm reading right now is called Seer, and it's about being able to understand the gifts and the prophecies of like your vision. Like if you're a dreamer, I'm a seer. And so it's just being able to understand my gift more. Well, my gifts. Because I believe God gave us more, more than one. And so just better understanding my gifts. And so that's the book that I'm reading right now. I should know the author, but it's okay.
It's all right. How often do you read?
I read some yesterday. So I probably, first of all, like I said, I'm a doctoral student. So I'm constantly reading, doing research, articles, all this other stuff. So I'm constantly reading. So I read yesterday. I actually read a portion of the book this year, and then I also read an article on higher ed because I'm getting my doctorate in education. And so I read an article on higher ed because a lot of the colleges in the city and surrounding areas and other states are closing. And so I wanted to figure out what can I do to further help, or support like my college students. And so I read that yesterday.
Got you. Taking it a step back, because the woman you are right now is amazing, right?
Thank
I'm
you.
so thoroughly impressed, and I'm so grateful to have you on this platform. So my question to you is,
dope.
Tell me a little bit about your upbringing. Like, how did you grow up?
Oh, okay. You ain't meet my mama.
No,
she was
meet
me mom. Mom pulled up with me, y'all. She pulled up with me.
I should have.
But it's okay. But my mom, I have a dope mom. Like my mom, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional, because I feel extremely blessed to have a mom like the one I have, and I wouldn't know what to do without her. This is going to make me emotional. I feel it. Because I had to thank my siblings and my mom and the women in my life and the males in my life, everybody that is a part of my tribe and community. I had to thank them for allowing me to be me. And I had amazing women who were just so ladylike, who were just they were just them. I would see my mom get ready for the cabaret, and she would remember the cabaret back in the day? She would get ready for the cabaret, and she would throw like a nice satin silk shirt on, some heels. I would be watching her getting dressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get older and I could be able to go out. And so my mom is a lot of that's where I got a lot of my inspiration from. And I would say my siblings too. Like I'm the baby girl.
Of how many?
7.
7.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Brothers? How many brothers, sisters?
4 boys and 3 girls.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent balance.
Yeah. And so I would say the sisters in my life, like they did an amazing job with showing me what not to do. Right. Showing me what not to do, but also like showing me what to do.
And putting you on the game.
And putting me on for sure. Like I have dope sisters. and dope siblings. So it would mainly be that. I would say that. But I didn't really have the best relationship with my father growing up. But let me tell y'all about forgiveness. Okay?
Right.
Because it is Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, all the fathers.
Happy Father's Day. Right.
Let me tell you about forgiveness. One year, I think I was like 25. Yeah, I was 25. And I was talking to God about the matters of my heart. And I always thought that if something was to happen to my dad, I would be emotional because I never got the chance to build a relationship with him. Okay. And so when I got to that point, and I guess God wanted me to get to a place where I was able to accept my dad for just not being there. And I thought that I would see him and I'd be like, you wasn't there. Like, it was no excuse and this and this and that. But when that time came, I was literally like, we was literally just talking and vibing. And I had to tell him, like, I forgive you, and I was able to forgive him. And that is when I seen a shift in my womanhood, when I was able to forgive my father. Like, I felt like I couldn't get past a certain point in relationships, or even within myself, because like your mother and your father, like that's where you get a lot of your,
you know, consciously and subconsciously.
Yeah, for sure. Right. And so once I did that, I forgave him. Like that's my dog. Like that's really my dog.
No,
like,
I appreciate hearing that. When I went to prison, my little girl was 3. Okay, I came home, she was 10, turning 11.
Yeah.
And I set her on this platform. I mean, I set her plenty of times, but I set her on this platform, and I wanted to publicly apologize to her for the times that I missed, because I know that my presence going to have an effect on her, good or bad.
Yeah.
You know. I thank God that while I was away, I had a little bit of resources, and I had a good tribe of people who made sure that my daughter was straight. Her mom being one of them, so I want to give her the credit as well. But you know, shout out to her, man. My daughter mom is amazing, because there was plenty of. I gave her a lot of times to call me out my name or to you know to put me down, and she didn't. So I'm thankful for that, and I do appreciate the fact that you're conscious of the fact that you had to forgive your father in order to walk into your feminine, order to do that. So please, because I feel like a lot of women skip that. You know, they're like, I could skip actually having a relationship with my father, or skip that hurt and go straight to a man, and they're wondering why that every man they get with is a problem.
Listen.
So can we just talk about that a little bit?
Whew, yeah. So I think so because my father wasn't around in the beginning of my life, I would cut a guy off real fast. Like I would like, my tolerance was like this. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Why
it was nothing.
So
it was nothing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing. Like every little thing, it was just interesting for me. And so I had to get in a space where I had to stop viewing men a certain way. Like I feel like I was making other men pay for my dad not being there. And so that may have looked like, I'm sorry. That may have looked like me not being all the way like emotionally available like I should be.
Right.
It made I just wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't. But now in this new walk of my life, I love me a man.
Right.
Like I love me a man. Like I try to really be conscious with how I treat my black men. I try not to like curse y'all out. Like I really don't want to put a bad taste in y'all mouth, because even if me and the person like are dating, if we decide to stop dating, I don't want them to take what I did to them into that next situation. And so I feel like now I'm in a space where I know how to emotionally, mentally, physically treat a man, you know, and I didn't care about that before.
Right.
I didn't care about that. Like, but it's all about me. It's all about me. We here for me. I mean, still heavy on it. We here for me, but still heavy on it. But I'm able to reciprocate. I'm able to tell a man and express like what I want, what I deserve, you know, and really mean it and stand on it. But also, I'm able to take some punches, not punches like physically get beat up. Not like that, not that. But take punches where I can. Some things gonna sting a little bit. You know, some things gonna sting a little bit, and I'm able to not react emotionally. Right. You know, or react so fast without thinking. Like I don't know how to really explain it.
No, you're explaining it. No, you are explaining it, because I think what happens is, if we don't resolve our issues, it's so easy to take. Okay, well, somebody told me, they said, when you carry a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You know, it's like everybody could get it. Any and everybody could get it. And it's not until you remove that anger that you can start to give a person grace and say, I could judge you upon what you did to me, but not what that person did, and leave that right then and there. Like that don't trickle over there. And I think that's just really, really mature of you, because as a man, I'm single, And when I involve myself with women, some of the issues that I have is like, no, they still gotta heal from this particular thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I still have to heal from certain things too. This is not one of them platforms where we want to put the onus on the woman or put the onus on the man. As a community, we got some communication to do. We got some healing that we need to address.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that definitely for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
We gotta bridge these gaps, man. I'm telling you, I know my husband is a black man. Okay. He's blackly black. Like hella black, hella proud black, you know.
Okay.
And I had to really start thinking about what that means.
Right.
Like what that means, what that really look like. And if I know that I'll say this. If I know that I'm going to be married to a black man, I have to really know how to understand y'all.
Right.
You know, and the only way I can really understand y'all is if I just listen, I observe, I pay attention. Like I don't like assuming. I ask a lot of questions.
Right.
Like it sometimes feel like I'm in therapy, you know.
Right.
But I ask a lot of questions because I don't want to leave any space for miscommunication. It's like a man who knows how to communicate is just so sexy to me.
Right.
And I know how to communicate, but I feel that we have a lot of we have to bridge that communication gap in our community, because I think that's why we see a lot of unhealthy relationships.
Right.
Because of that. Like because we don't know how to talk to each other, because we don't know how to treat each other in the manner as the way we deserve. And I'm not saying the whole community doesn't know how, but I wish we was able to do better.
Right.
I wish we was able to see it more. Like I was walking through the airport. Don't be mad, y'all. I was walking through the airport and I seen these pictures, you know, and I'm like, well, where the black family at? Like, you know, where the black family? We really don't see it. Even if we watching TV shows, like they really don't give us that. And it's like, we're dope individuals. Like we have, first of all, think about it. Fridays, when I think about my childhood, Fridays we had, what was it? It was
TGI Fridays?
I'm talking about during the week. Like Friday during the week, we used to have, like in my neighborhood or even like my family and we used to always get together on Fridays. Either my aunt was going to cook and we was going to play some card games or something like that. But when you think about the black people, we're really decent. Like, and we really do know how to communicate, but in our own way.
No. I feel you with that. But let me give you a little bit of pushback on what you said. You said that they're not giving it to us. We can't blame them for not taking care of our issues. Mm-hmm. We don't take care of our issues, and we cannot expect for them to take care of it. Mm-hmm. So my pushback is for this. I don't want to pick on no one, because I say that all the time.
Yeah, you fine.
But I wind up picking on them. Okay, it's like I can't get another Jill Scott because I'm stuck with Sexy Red. Okay, so until there's a platform for Jill Scott, I can't expect. I'm going to be stuck with her, and I'm not picking on them as a person. I'm talking about them as the avatar, what they represent. So I feel like we as black people have to provide that balance that we want to see. Not every time we get a platform and we turn it into Love and Hip Hop, Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
We need to represent our positive sisters and to show our sisters who are actually doing something. Yeah. We need to give them a platform. Yeah. So that was my push. But the other platform is going to be, hope to do that as well. When they show men that can speak their truth, and we could get it out. We could have that honest conversation and that dialogue, but it's very much needed.
Well, you push back, I'm gonna push back.
Let's push back.
Okay, we pushing back.
We pushing.
So it's like I like how you brought that up. But you said a lot of important things. But one of the words you brought up was balance. And so when you think about balance, like, we all are different. Right. So every female is not going to show up like me. But when I think of, I know people may not be fans of Sexy Red, but when I think of her as an artist, I know people may think like she ratchet, she this, she that, but she gets very much liberated to me. Okay. She gets very much, I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna do what I want. Like I'm gonna, you know, like saying, like,
love that.
Yeah, and she also reminds me of like a female Gucci.
Okay.
Like a female Gucci. But also, I think it's so interesting because I feel like men could come into the rap industry or into hip hop, and they could be raunchy. They can say whatever it is that they want. They can be. If Sexy Red was a guy, it would be okay. But because she's a lady, society has expectations as to how a lady's supposed to be, we're supposed to what.
Let's keep that. Let's keep pushing. Okay? Yeah, I'm pushing back on that.
Okay, come on.
And my pushback is that it's unfortunate, but we have become okay with the black man image not being shit. Okay, we have in some ways, consciously or subconsciously, has set the black man and his image. We accept the fact that he is a deadbeat. Okay, we did that, and unfortunately, there was no media platforms, there was no podcast, there was none of that to push back at that time, right? We're now seeing that happening with our sisters, and we're now saying, "Hold up, black women." Because we don't want you being like that. We want to value you as the queens that you are. And it's the women that pushes back and say, well, I want to be treated like the men. And it's like, you sure? Because as a man, we could almost do no right. I mean, let's be real here. It's a lot of times where us men are doing the right thing and we get crucified for the mistakes that other men and men that we didn't have anything to do with. Men that we probably would have avoided. So we want to protect our women, and protecting our women sometimes come by direction, and sometimes I don't want to get beat up, ladies, when I walk these streets, but sometimes that direction, it comes at a price because you guys are stubborn against us, and there's no one love a black woman more than a black man. I get it. We all have made some terrible mistakes out here, but again, this is why this is so very necessary for us to do. It is so very necessary. I love the fact that the Sexy Reds are unapologetic and they're going for what they want. As an entrepreneur, sometimes my biggest problem is the fact that I'm so in my head. I'm like, I can't go for that. They're going to think I'm crazy. They're going to judge me. I am. And it happens. So when I see these people that's like, I'm not afraid to do any of that. I'm going to get mine. Who won't check me? Right. You got to commend it. You got to commend it.
Like, that's why I love Cardi B too.
Right.
Like, I love Cardi B because she is hilarious. But she has always been herself from what I've seen.
Right.
Like I don't really know her. Right. So I don't know. But from what I've seen, from watching her journey, she just always was herself, right. And that's what I appreciate about women. I think we don't create enough spaces for us to just be who we are. It goes back to us just being. We don't create enough spaces to be who we are. I feel like Sexy Red, in my opinion, but I'm not a man. I feel like Sexy Red is still a queen. Like, I feel like she's still very much a queen. She still deserves to be treated very much like a queen. Every queen runs their kingdom differently, and so her style of running her kingdom, it may look a little different, but I do think that what we do have to do in the community is just like, we don't want to show all of that all the time, because we do need that balance, because we want the younger generations to see, No,
I'm looking at you and I'm licking my lips like I can't wait to jump in on this.
Go ahead, right, come on, just say it.
So no, I feel what you're saying, and I think that Sexy Red in her avatar, she deserves respect. Okay, every woman, every person.
Okay,
but I can't put her on the pedestal of being a queen because what does that tell the woman that is actually walking in that? Like, if a woman is saving herself, or it may not even saving her, let's not even go to that extreme, but if she's conscious about the men that she involved herself with, if she is conservative in her dress, if she's not parading herself and her jewels around, how can I give a woman like that the same credit as Sexy Red? You see what I'm saying? Like,
it goes to your preference though. It goes to your preference. Maybe you're not the type of guy who go for women like Sexy Red. You have a preference, and that's okay. But if I was sitting in a space with women and Sexy Red was there, I would still give her the deserving respect.
I give her respect.
Yeah, for sure. But I would still give her the respect that she deserves, regardless of what people may think. Listen, I'm from the hood. I'm a hood baby. Like I have my moments, my Sexy Red moments, my Megan Stallion moments. Like, I have my moments. And the crazy thing is, some people may think that I don't oftentimes represent the black community like I should. I'm pretty sure people
What did that mean? What did that mean?
Well, I think like when I work in a predominantly white setting, and I show up to work, long nails,
okay.
Like just being very much a black woman,
right?
And so I try to go. I'm not gonna say I try because I do. I go into these settings giving them exactly what I have to give. So that is me letting them know when I go on an interview or when I first meet with them or whatever the case may be. This is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. I may not always say the right words. I may not always speak in a way that you may have like me to speak or you may want me to speak. But you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what point I'm getting at. And so I try not to go in there being like, no.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, I have had moments where I got pushed and I was sitting in a meeting like this.
Right.
By the time I got out that meeting, you would have thought I was being called in for a basketball game because I was like slumped over, ready to cross the desk a little bit. And so I don't want to show up in that way. Right. I don't want to show up as the angry black woman.
Well, I think though, and that is very true because I think even as a black man, we have to be conscious of our representation.
Yeah.
As a man who I proudly have said that I've been the problem for many years. Okay. There are people who absolutely love me today. There were people who hated me yesterday. Like they was like, man, if I catch his ass, it's on. It's on site. And I have to accept that. But as I move forward now, as a Zachary King, the man, the entrepreneur, the father, become very conscious that the decisions I make will affect the man that's coming behind me.
For sure.
And we have, as a community, got to get out of the, not saying you, as a community, we have to get out of the mentality that thinks like, I got to get mine, and we don't care about the people that come behind us. Because that's what's happening. We have so much. There was a post on social media and it said something about how the ratchet women are winning, and it was like, man, y'all just go for the ratchet women. That's the kind of women y'all like. And it's like, no, they're the most loudest. They're the loudest in the room. They're the ones that's like. So when we're scrolling the room looking for a good one, she's the one that's popping up saying, "Hey, look at me. I'm doing whatever I can do to take your attention away from the good ones." And we're allowing the good ones to be drowned out. And that's why it's so hard. Even when I tell women, I'm saying the reason why you have a hard time finding a decent man is because you got all of these running around here making it a little difficult for you. So, but I want to talk a little bit more about your profession, and also too about your social media and everything else. So let's talk about your profession. Like you talked about how you're being viewed, but let's talk about your day and your job, because you do have a regular job, right?
Yes, I do.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you do and what your day consists of.
Okay, so a work day for me, aside from emails and talking to my students. So I'm an educator as well as a support coach. So my day in higher ed. So my day in higher ed would look like either teaching. It would either look like me connecting with my students or connecting with colleagues on campus, trying to figure out how we can implement supportive programming for our students to help them not just matriculate to college, but also like persist through their program, obtain their degree. And my goal is to help the students understand that even though you're in school paying for this education, you're paying for that piece of paper, you're paying for everything, I do not want them to leave and not know who they are, or not start that journey of identifying like their identities, like their gifts, their talents, what they were shaped for. And I ask my students all the time, like, are you sitting in this seat because you like, is this your passion? Like, are you passionate about this thing? Right. Or are you here for the money? Like, what is your motivation behind sitting in these seats? And if in fact, like someone says, this has nothing to do with my passion, this has nothing to do with my gifts or anything like that, well, then we need to have a conversation. Right. Because I don't want, as a higher education leader, I don't want to grant degrees for industry, right? and you don't know who you are. Like, you're investing all this time, energy, effort, and money into learning about, let's just say, psychology, right?
Right.
But you haven't even did the work for yourself. You don't even, you know what I'm saying? So you have to master you. You have to be your first client. You have to be your first student. No one can do it like you can. Right. And that's just the dope thing about it. And so that's what I do at work. I just motivate and encourage my students to just be dope. Like, just be dope, be them, be decent, and know who you are.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, you gotta know who you are.
I like that. Be dope, be decent.
Yeah, and know who you are. Like, know you really the shit. Like, I don't know, am I allowed to say that?
I mean, you know,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the older generation, or for people that's cool. Not too fond of cuss words. But you really have to know that you are, because it's so sad when you see students coming into college. They're either going through depression, anxiety. My background is also in social work, so I have my master's in social work, and so I'm big on mental health. But they're coming in with depression, anxiety, mood disorders, all different types of things, and I don't think we do a good job treating it. I don't think we do a good job in higher ed creating a safe space for students to feel at home away from home.
Right.
And so I try to do that for my students. So I may be a sister for my students. I may be, I'm not gonna say a mom.
Right.
Definitely not. But I am nurturing. I'm not a mama yet. But I'm nurturing. So I provide that love and support that they need, but also, like, I challenge my students as well. Right. Like, I try to help them be accountable. And so it's just like a whole holistic way or framework of just helping my students get along the way.
No, I appreciate that, and that's dope. I'm lost of words. Let's talk about you being a media correspondent.
Yeah.
What is that? Like, let's dive into that real quick.
Okay.
So what does that what does that consist of?
So media correspondent, it looks like it's basically me going to some dope events and connecting with the people that are there, but also interviewing them, getting some testimonials, helping them enjoy, what we came to do. We came to have a good time. Right. Capturing all of the my cameraman, he the best. Capturing shout out to Trey. Shout out to Trey, because
we gotta put his IG out there.
Yes, for sure. We really do. Like, we really do. Because he helps when it comes. Well, I'm not saying he helps. We work together. To capture the media correspondent thing. But the interesting thing about being a media correspondent is that I didn't really realize it was a ministry. I started noticing that event spaces and like hosts, they would have events and stuff, and they'll be so wrapped up in the event that they sometimes don't get a chance to talk to all of their guests. They don't get a chance to really hear what people felt, like what they felt like their experience was, was, or even to get a compliment on the fit. Like it was a part of the event that was missing. Right. And so when I noticed that, like, when we was like, we gonna do this thing, and when I noticed that it was really something that the entrepreneurs and the event designers and everything, they needed that. Like, they needed that additional footage. They needed to hear that. Sometimes you just need to hear yeah, I'm coming back. This is my third time. This you need to. You like, what? This person came back 3 times, and then you want to be able to recognize them when you go out and you see. You want to recognize those people. So we try to create a space where we can give people the best seat in the house. So not just for the people that's at the event, but the people that may have missed the event. Right. Or sometimes, people that be like, I want to go, but I don't know how it's going to be. Right. So, the media correspondent going to show you how it's going to be and what you can expect. And then the next time you go, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be out. Like, I'm definitely pulling up.
As an entrepreneur, I appreciate you seeing a gap in the market. I appreciate you seeing a gap in a demand, because that is very much true. And more people, I guess with live streaming run and things like that, you know, they are able to maybe not be there physically, but they can actually view an event and so forth and so on. And having someone that's there, that's on the front line, so to speak, telling them how it is and telling them how it's not either. It's not all about just, showing praise. Sometimes it is, hey, the food wasn't really here that great, y'all. And they feel that authentic. They feel how authentic that is. So that's beautiful. Where do you see yourself growing this at? Like, where do you see yourself? And how was Philly? How was Philly for you? Like, is that a good market or?
You want to know what's crazy?
Be honest.
Philly, y'all get on my nerves. I was like, no, I love y'all. Philly is so hard.
It's a hard place. Yes.
We do not play. Like we
have fun, but we don't play.
Yeah, we do not play. We be like, oh, you want to be an entrepreneur? Okay, show me why I should support you. Like that's how Philly is. Right. But when you go to other cities or other places, the culture is a little different. People are more welcoming to your creativity and everything like that. Right. But then when I started realizing that we got some gems in this city. We have we have gems here.
I mean,
like,
oh my God.
Fire.
The talent that's here is crazy. It's just that, like, when I go to New York, right, and I see the New York dudes and how they hustle, not all them barrels get along, right? They got them areas that don't mess with that area and so forth, but them dudes know how to get money together. Yeah. They know how to support each other, and they got like the bigger picture in mind. Sometimes I love Philly. That's my city. I've been born here, raised here, became into a man here, but it could be really hard. Philly could be really hard, man.
They don't play.
We eat our own. We would tear us apart. I mean, it's like, if you hear some of the comments, even my those, like, you think of Meek, some of his worst criticism come from people in the own city.
For sure.
So yeah, we can be. So, but we're trying to fight through that. We're trying to push through that.
But you know what? I think it's changing. I'm seeing it. Like since I've gotten to, being an entrepreneur and all that, I still be trying to fast. I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. Right. But when I got into that, into just being it and accepting that, I did see a shift in the city. I say that because like 7 or 8 years ago, I was doing like radio and everything like that. Shout out to Madam Me and Tyra for making that introduction. But I was doing like radio with them, and they would have me on as a host and stuff. And I would tell people like, yeah, call in, do this, do that.
Right.
7 years later.
Right.
Podcasting, radio, all of that is booming in the city.
Right.
But 7 years ago,
right.
It wasn't. It was a struggle to maintain it. And when the pandemic happened, excuse me, we were begging, man, to be like, please don't close the station. Please don't close the station. Right. But things happened, and so we moved on. But I do see a shift in the city, and I have seen it, and I think we've shifted from we're still hard for sure, but like I said, it goes back to the gyms. I don't know what or who y'all are, like who all y'all are, but when I go to certain events or these new Black-owned lounges and like restaurants and all this other stuff, I'm so proud of us. Right. Like I feel like Philly is coming into a space where I'm still gonna be going to rooftops like at other cities, but we're becoming that spot. Like we're becoming that spot, and I love that for the city. Like I feel like we're underrated. We're oftentimes overlooked. Right. And Philly is fire. Like we're dope. Anywhere you go, like the you can go to.
Here is good.
Yes.
The nightlife is good. Yes. It's a lot of very pretty, a lot of nice art here.
Yes.
It's a lot to do.
It's a vibe.
It's
like
a lot to do here.
And so I just really want people to just see how dope the city is, and I want us to see it. Right. Like so, yeah. Right.
No, I totally agree. Well, in closing, please tell the people where they can reach you at, where they can find you. Please, and everyone. This is an amazing woman right here. Please support her. She has so much going on, so much to offer. So not just Philly, but the world. So.
Yes. Speak the answer to existence, Black man. So Queen Azili Almaz. You could look me up on Instagram. Everything will be right there, Queen Azili Almaz. Or if you're interested in me being your media correspondent for your next event, you can definitely email me at azilialmaz@gmail.com. Or you could figure out how, we could possibly work together, or if you you have students matriculate into college and you're not really sure how to support them, or students, if y'all not really sure what questions to really ask, you can still reach out to me and I can help you navigate through your educational journey as well.
It's about collaboration, not competition.
Come on now.
Cool. Well, thank you so very much. I'm so grateful to have you on. Did you enjoy yourself?
I did. I had a blast.
Got you. So that means you'll come back?
I'm coming back.
Got you.
It's set in stone. I'll be back, y'all.
Shoot. Let's check for part 2 coming soon,
Part
y'all.
2.
Part 2. With that being said, I'm Zachary King. This is the Future is Female podcast, and I'm out.